When I was in the bathroom of waiting online, a girl came in and we invited her to one of the youth rallies, and she came out, gave her life to the Lord, and actually came again the next day and is going to be at the beach party.
You know, we're not here to stand up and say, you shouldn't drink, you shouldn't smoke, drugs are bad. No, we're here to exalt Christ, and our Creator loves us and desires to have a relationship with us.
I think I was really wondering for a long time, like, what exactly are we going to do here? Because these people seem to have everything. They don't really outwardly show that they're in need, but I think that showed me that there is a spiritual need wherever you go.
I got to talk to this one man and had a lot of doubts about God, and then he asked me almost sarcastically, he was like, "Did God tell you to come to Finland?" And I was like, "Yeah, God told me to come here."
Helsinki, Finland is a beautiful, modern, European city. It is clean, safe, and prosperous. Almost 90% of the population of Finland belong to the Lutheran Church, but less than 2% attend church regularly. Many young people have turned to smoking and drinking. Alcoholism, depression, and suicide rates are very high, especially among teenagers.
Our whole idea for this trip was to take Jesus where people are. It's here in Scandinavia, it's sometimes hard to get people to churches, especially that's true with young people. So instead of inviting them to come where we are, we want to take Jesus to the streets, just like in the early church.
Pastor Juha's church is in a suburb of Helsinki. This area has a large population of immigrants. Because of YPC's own multicultural background, we had an open door to the schools. We spent 2 days holding meetings in a school auditorium. Busloads of middle school students attended. We weren't allowed to openly preach, so we shared the gospel in song, dramas, and testimonies. And we invited the students to come out to the public rallies that we would hold later in the week.
By the time I was 7 years old, I knew that my mother was a drug addict and a prostitute.
Everywhere we went, we handed out flyers and invited the people we met to come to the events.
To see you guys at the concert tonight. We just gave you guys a flyer for it.
We also did an outreach in a mall, the largest shopping center in the Nordic countries. Again, we were not allowed to preach or even share testimonies, but crowds gathered as we sang, worshipped God, and presented short dramas. Halfway through the week, we came to the turning point in our ministry. We held open public rallies in the school auditorium and in a park in the center of downtown Helsinki. At these rallies, we could preach and minister freely.
We've been throwing the nets out, we've been sowing the seed, and now it's time to pull in the nets, it's time to reap also.
Throughout the events, many people, young and old, responded to the altar calls and got saved. And even more were ministered to in one-on-one interactions with members of the choir. We even developed a following, as many teenagers came out again and again to the events. The fellowship continued at the Gospel Beach Party, one of the final outreaches of the trip.
We've had a wonderful week, really amazing week with the YPC here in Helsinki.